Maybe like 5 minutes walking. Creepy cast member.
Creak in the tombstones quake.
It's your turn.
Second star to the right. Remember, I'll tell you that again. Second star to the right and straight one to the warning.
Pizza. Hi, Nana.
Michael has a bear.
It's raining aggressively. I was gonna take a selfie, but both of the presidents behind me are not good, in my opinion. Your lunch. Oh, well, so first of all, because I wasn't able to say this before because I was in a hurry to eat and not die in the rain. So we came up to Hall of Presidents. They said 25 minutes. So he was all like, okay, let's go check out Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow didn't look that bad. So we get in line for Sleepy Hollow. First of all, cannot get the Nutella waffle anymore all day. Apparently only for breakfast. This is an abomination, in my humble opinion. But whatever, it's fine. We've moved on. I'm only a little bitter. So then as I'm waiting in line, he goes and gets a table. You hear thunder. I'm not sure I've ever had thunder.
In the parks? No.
When I was here before.
When I was here.
So, and I feel like this came out of like nowhere. And maybe that's how Florida is. But like
Yes,
yesterday, it was like gray, like all day. So, whatever. So he gets a table, which, I mean, it had an umbrella, but that umbrella, I mean, I guess it was probably doing more than not having an umbrella.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty wet.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety and the safety of others, please do not move out of your ducts. I see people, walking around, and then when I see a duct that is empty, I'm gonna fill it out with another guest, and then you will not be able to stay if you're not in a duct. But you have to stay in a duct because we really need to maintain the physical social distance. Thank you.
Tell them. Anyways, I'm still like really wet.
Okay.
But, so I sit down and, I put on my coat. He's trying to protect, I got a funnel cake. I got the fa-la-la-la-la, still unsure how many laws, funnel cake, which was just a funnel cake with strawberries, whipped cream, and sprinkles. By the way, would not recommend. It wasn't bad. It was not bad. But the strawberries combined with the rainwater, which kept falling off my hood onto my food. I don't know if you had that problem, but I did. It made the funnel cake kind of soggy, like faster than I could eat it.
Yeah.
And so if I were to do it again, I would just go traditional funnel cake. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I don't regret my choices. But, and you got the hand-dipped corn dog.
Hand-dipped corn dog with the house-made chips. Very good. I like them. I ate my chips first so that they wouldn't get soggy.
Probably good move.
I'm a bigger individual, so I was able to shelter my food pretty good, so I didn't have any trouble with water. But the chips are good, and I don't like overcooked chips. It's not my thing, which the house chips kind of are. But I do like the house chips. I do, I don't know what to tell you. I do like the hand-dipped corn dog. Very good. I mean, honestly, the biggest problem is it's huge. It's got to be like a quarter pounder.
Well, and it looks like it had does it have a really thick breading?
It has a very thick
like
breading, so it's huge. And it's got a real pointy, sharp at the end.
It's like a skewer, not like
it's a skewer, not like a little popsicle stick or something like you usually get at the fairs. And so it does make it a little trickier to eat. Certainly not an insurmountable issue, but very tasty, very flavorful. The batter is good. The cook was good. The fry was very good. It wasn't excessively greasy. As far as the fry goes, I love me my corn dip, batter dip stuff. So, no, it was very good. Very good. I enjoyed it tremendously.
Now, we got in the Hall of Presidents line, and I thought we would get the next show, that one that was 25 minutes away. But apparently, no. Which I feel like we would have if it hadn't rained. Because I bet you when it rained, everybody was like, oh, you know what I can go do? Hall of Presidents. And so they let everybody in, so it didn't look that bad out there, but I think it's because they hadn't let everybody into the rotunda. Or they had already let people in.
Yeah.
So, whatever. It's fine. It's not like we're in a hurry. And I would really like to see this one more time before it changes. And I really regret not seeing it, before.
Yeah.
We probably should have seen it every time there was a new president. Well, it wasn't always open when we came. feel like for a long time we had a bad run of it not
Yes.
being open.
Yes.
Because my brother would always want to do it because he's like a political guy. And like every time it was closed for like the refurb for like when a new president gets elected. So it is what it is. So glad I washed and blow dried my hair today. That's why it rained. It's because I did my hair.
It's your fault.
I apologize. And I wore a white shirt. Should have known it was happening.
He steps down from power and retires to his home, Mount Vernon. The world takes note, and George Washington becomes the symbol of American ideals. In the first presidential election, it's Washington by a landslide. The only doubt seems to be his own. He writes, "Integrity and firmness is all I can promise. Integrity and firmness is exactly what we need." Everything he does as president will set a model for his successors. His final act may be the most important of all. After 2 terms, with no term limit in the Constitution and amid overwhelming support to stay in office, he steps down once again and hands power back to the people. He wants us to speak, to elect a new president. Forget.
"47 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
The blood of over 500,000 Americans is spilled in the Civil War. President Lincoln's enduring hope is to give true meaning to the sacrifices of so many. It is an idea with a proud history. Ladies and gentlemen, the presidents of the United States of America. George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James K. Polk, Zachary Taylor, Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, James Buchanan, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, James A. Garfield, Chester A. Arthur, Grover Cleveland, Benjamin Harrison, William McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard M. Nixon, Gerald R. Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama. And now we come to the present. Once again, we place our trust in the idea of a president, as we have from the beginning.
My fellow citizens, no event could have filled me with greater anxieties than that notification on the 14th day of April, 1789, that you had selected me to lead our nation. But it was with the confidence of my fellow citizens that I took an oath. 35 simple words that have been repeated by every American president throughout history.